Hello, welcome back. Star Wars Ashes. I'm so sorry for our absence. We've been gone for far too long. It was like early February was our last session or something, mid-February. Things happened. Real life happened. I mean, I wasn't going to point fingers at you, but if you're going to point it at yourself, yeah, it's all Fiend's fault. I'm just going to find it, just throw him under the bus. Things happen, things that can't be kind of be blamed for. Your fingers are all over the place. You're white man dancing. Just
I
stop it.
don't know.
Just stop.
I
Just stop.
don't know which way he is. And in
For you, he
correlation
would
with
be
me,
down.
he's down. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So things happened. I'm sorry. We had to have an absence. We did do that one D&D session at least, like has some middle ground, but it's not always to everyone's liking. It's D&D, and it was just kind of a random thing. We didn't get like 2 or 3 sessions out of it, but maybe we'll revisit the world as we go. Me and Morik are going to like maybe flesh out the countryside and come up with ideas for just like one shots on maybe some nights or days or whatever, especially as you know as we all feel up to it. But nothing too
To
strenuous.
map creation.
Yeah, we gotta do the map create. We gotta come up with the countryside. I have the bulk of the sort of the bulk of the idea, but a lot of it will be just can be filled in. But so it's possible D&D stuff will return. It won't be most likely won't be Monday nights unless it's like again people have to cancel or other things come up and we can do it as a filler. But maybe we'll try and do it on other off nights like possibly like Wednesday nights or something. So stay tuned for that. We'll see about like improvising some other random stuff and maybe having other people that want to jump in here and there with like low commitment and let them, dawdle around with character sheets and stuff. But we're back here with Star Wars. It's been a while. It's episode 15. Where we last left off, and this is gonna be a little spotty because even I'm a little kind of trying to remember where it was, is the second day or second session at Starbase Neon was underway. Everyone kind of recuperating, recovering, getting things sorted out, and it mostly was centered around the focusing on the new mission. They basically improvised, so they decided that they're going to jump on being kind and generous to Lazik and help try to rescue her friends, and they have a deal that at least gets them mostly in the door. I don't think it fully seals the deal, but it covers a lot of ground with getting her friends back, which is if they deliver a Rancor alive to a Hutt on Nar Shadda. And they offered a ship to do it. It's a big container, relatively big container type ship. It was assessed by um, Kato. I believe he was the one that mostly assessed it. It's a
I believe so.
terribly, horribly run down, on the brink of falling apart type of ship. It is not. It's basically a hunk of scrap. Worse than their own ship because it's basically been left collecting dust. But it'll fly. It'll get there. It will work. Just not with any bells and whistles or whatnot to it. They talked back and forth. They figured out what their plan was. They were going to end up basically bringing both ships, splitting the crew slightly. It's really just Mason that's just going to be occupying his own time on the ship because he's a great loner. And everyone else can handle the normal things. I don't think there was too many other matters that really went on. Ultimately, the crew did set off and they got going. There was some chit chat and exchanges between the bulk that's on the Remembrance, and we caught some like homages of how Mason tries to the deal with the time, which is mostly just bouncing balls off walls and um, target practice. I kind of loosely remember as target practicing on something, some heap of
Yeah, like
junk or
old
something.
droids or something.
Yeah, I kind of remember there was something like that, I think. And
I remember.
and then we kind of ended off on Mason just having a rather daunting dream. And that was it. So I guess in efficiency's sake, is there anything anybody wants to do before we get to Nar Shaddaa and just get on with the mission, bulk of the mission part? or like is there any scenes that people want to do, or anything else of note to be said and have done, or we basically just have the two ships show up and get onto how you guys get the big monster of doom over to the social monster of doom.
That sounds more fun. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's just hop into it, I guess. I got no qualms.
Okay,
Yeah, let's do it.
sure enough.
Let's get fucking killed, boys.
Yeah, let's get it.
So we get to then basically, we get the opening text scroll of random, hype building. It settles in, and we see the overpacked, over civilized moon known as Nar Shadda, which orbits Nalhutta, with tons of traffic, constantly going in and out. There's a haze of events and activity. Like, this is like ground zero for criminal life, basically, at least as far as Hutt space is concerned. Although even within the general galaxy, Nar Shadda pretty much has it in its palm. And we see the Remembrance, the YT-1760, and the whatever that the freighter was. I can't remember the full.
SS piece of shit.
Yeah, that. Yeah. They come lumbering out of hyperspace, and zoom in through the traffic. We'd probably get some dialogue from Mason on the freighter and Nard on the Remembrance. Whoever was piloting the Remembrance part of it.
Yep.
Nard was piloting the Remembrance.
Yeah.
I believe.
So,
but I also I was bored and let Lizzie pilot it somewhat.
yeah, she was keeping the seat warm basically for some of the hyperspace travel, right? So you make your arrangements, you come up with your credentials. The only question here, which is potentially worth some stuff, is as far as the Remembrance is concerned, do you give your legitimate credentials of the ship, or is there any business masking going on?
Seems like
I'm on the
you're
big shit.
yeah. It seems like you're baiting for something, but no. I would say that we are the Remembrance coming in with.
Well,
bounty.
it's about, do you guys leave like well, it's not paper, it's digital trail. Like, do you leave a paper trail of where your movements are, considering all the people that are after you? Like, does
I
that
don't
come
think
up as a
Nard has realized that we're too. Yeah, of course.
because
The
the
Who was
quasars
that?
don't. Sorry.
No, sorry, you go on. You go
Because
on.
the
I forgot.
quasars are after you. The Empire is after you. The lady, the lady with the laser sword, is keeping eyes on
Well,
you.
actually,
Well, Kato does, I guess.
Kato knows
Yeah,
that.
that's true. But he at least, but he
that's
does
the
still
thing.
know that. So some people are kind of focused on where you are and where you're going generally. So, and I think that would be a reasonable consideration for you people, not, so we don't convey your characters as reckless and dumb. So that's why I'm giving you the guys a chance if there's anything that we want to put in here or do some rolls towards, if there's a different approach you guys take rather than just springing a trap on you that you guys didn't have a chance to deal with.
I appreciate that greatly. If
Yeah.
Mason was flying, he would say, "Hey, we have lots of enemies, but he's not on the ship."
No, and also I think I'm kind of feeling that Nard don't really fully grasp the whole thing, and they're thinking this is kind of a legit business, even though we're in Hutt space, and we're kind of protected by the Hutts as long as we're here doing business with them.
Kato?
Are you gonna stop me from take over the comms and respond?
Yeah, I think Kato's also of the mind that we need to kind of mask our presence slightly, at least.
Okay. Did you have anything prepared? Anything flashback worthy?
Could I acquire false IDs for all of us? Something simple but effective like that, I think. Something to pass us off as different individuals.
Sure. It's mostly about the ship in this particular case, not so much personal.
Right.
It's like
right.
ship registration type of thing.
That's yeah. I can definitely find that, but that's. God, I knew the Star Wars term for this once upon a time.
I think you're right. There is a specific term for it, and I can't remember it either.
Space customs.
Not
It's like some kind of
barcode.
transmitter. Yeah, no, it's
Translocator signal or something like that. It might be something around that term.
Yep.
Yeah.
And switching that is a whole mess of problems.
So it's like, yeah, like a translocator type signal. So it's essentially, again, equivalent to like a registration code.
Yeah.
transponder code.
What?
Yes, transponder codes.
Transponder code. Transponder signal.
Transponder's code. Yeah. Do you do anything about that? Because that's your paper trail.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't think we have the means to do it because it's a thing that costs a shitload of money.
It's tricky. I mean, you can still try to mitigate it. There's still always slicing that could be done to some other trickery with it. I wouldn't say there's nothing you can do about it. There's maybe not a lot of easy things.
So getting new transponder codes is going to cost a hell of a lot of money. There's an entire underground business about that kind of stuff. Is it possible for us to mask our transponder code? Not hide it, so that's going to just draw more attention, but rather layer something over it so it kind of garbles what we have just enough. Like if you went through it with a comb, you trade our stuff fine. But if you're just kind of surface scanning for stuff, this might just be enough to throw it off.
What
Sure.
we can do is fly really, really close to the other ship and mask our presence behind that ship. But when we land, we're still gonna show 2 ships.
I like that idea, actually. I
But in
think
the-
that's definitely a simple idea. We fly close to the.
Actually, is it possible for? No, wait. I don't think the remembrance fits inside the HS piece of shit. Right?
No, it's not that much bigger. It's big, but it's not that much bigger.
You can fit a couple
The
fighters.
HMS,
Yeah.
the HMS Poodoo, is that what we're calling our new ship?
The HMS Voodoo. I mean, you know what? That's it for now.
That's it for now.
Yeah. HMS Voodoo.
Um,
Reporting for duty.
So yeah, as we come out of space, we're gonna do a daring maneuver and fly obscenely close to each other, and then when they hail us, we're going to tell them that we're the other ship coming with cargo.
All right.
That could be done. It seems like it's both a dangerous piloting role and a weird convincing that that's a thing.
Sure. Yeah, I think it would be. I think it's the remembrance that would have the harder part of that maneuver. So I think we're gonna need the piloting check from Nard. We'll say hard, so 3 purple. And Kato, give me maybe how you phrase it to the like air traffic controller essentially, and then give me the deception, I guess.
How I phrase what exactly there?
Like, how do you want to phrase that? The comms of it just being one ship that you're trying to come in as and fool the.
Oh, that's what we're doing. Oh, okay. I missed
So
that part.
it's two-pronged. You're handling the comms and spinning the lie, and then the ship
It's
has
okay,
the.
because when you are going to talk to them right now, we're gonna die. Because I cannot make this roll.
All right.
So let's see if I can mask this ship by piloting as you talk. Yeah.
Ooh. All right.
Yikes.
Told
Oh.
you, I'm not good.
There you go,
I
chat.
can do standard maneuvers, but I was kind of hoping you would do the heavy lifting myself.
Well, I'm flying a big ship. I'm busy doing the heavy lifting right now.
And now you're flying a big ship that I probably ran into a little bit.
I mean, the HMS Poodoo is not easy to fly. Okay,
It's a brick.
it's a brick. All right.
But yeah, Kato, what's your part of this look like?
Yeah. So Kato is going to contact air traffic control. Landing control. This is the HMS Poodoo coming in for a landing. We have had a issue with our thrusters, and our pilot has suffered a minor cognitive injury along the way. Our landing might be a bit rough. We'll be needing a considerable amount of extra airspace in order to land our craft safely.
Okay. Yeah, give me the deception against 3 purple and I say
I got actually, yeah, I got
I say
3 purple.
yeah, 3 purple difficulty, I think a blue and a black.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, a black dice for the Poodoo. Yeah.
Well, it's the smuggler's moon, so they're used to the bullshit and random nonsensical stuff. So you're trying to spin a lie to liars, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Good luck.
But the blue, I think that was rather convincing. I gave you the buff for the well
Hell
phrasing.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll do but one on each side.
Let me double check my everything. Make sure I got jacket and shit.
Talents and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
HMS
yeah.
Poodoo. HMS Poodoo.
Mayday, Poodoo needs help.
Don't make me regret my best joke of the night.
We're fucking stupid.
Just come straight. There you go. You're able to sell Poodoo.
We're professionals.
What do you have? Do you have anything in mind for that tiny bit of advantage?
Is it enough to kind of get them to not really question why there's another ship that's gone through as well? They're just kind of like, oh, they need this extra thing. This guy wasn't paying attention or something like that, and this is like some other ship or something. They
Well,
kind of
the
ignore
lie
it.
is that you're just one ship, because the other ship is
Yeah.
supposed to be flying close to it, right? So you're
Yeah. Yeah, the advantage I'm looking for is them to just not pick up on there being a second ship there. If they ever come to scrutinize it, it's harder for them to scrutinize it because they just aren't going to want to look for it.
Sure.
Like that.
You can demotivate them for doing it, sure.
Yeah, there's a good word for that. Yeah, that's really all I've got for this, I'm afraid. Like maybe I could. I got no strain. Actually, I could reduce some strain here. That might not be a bad thing.
Well, no one should have strain or wounds. You've been at travel for a few days and whatnot, so everyone should be rested up.
I'll take that.
If you still have a critical injury, which I don't think anybody does, you would still have that because we haven't done any of that hard recovery. But the rest of it should be gone. All right. So they take your lie, and they're not really interested in questioning it. They maybe got their hands full with something else, so they're like, minorly paying attention. So you get the kind of benefit of the doubt on that, and you manage to, you're going to be able to get closer to having a decent spot for landing at the actual, like, basically space docks. The bad news is not so much to the remembrance, maybe some nicks and scratch, but the as you're flying in, I think we get the scene of the remembrance kind of like swaying back and forth, trying to get close to the big lumbering brick of a ship. And like Mason, you're probably just trying to keep it on like a straight path because you know the maneuver that everyone's about to do. Like you've come to get, you had this like planned or whatever previous for it, and then you're going straight forward. You're sitting calm and steady, and then all of a sudden you hear this, your seat jolt forward. Bunch of lights start going up red. You tweet, 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 tweet. Like the panel in front kind of depicts a bunch of the engines like in the red and starting to shut off.
I immediately pull up the comms.
Okay.
Who the hell's flying my ship?
That.
It just leaves the call. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, he has to apparently need to restart his computer. It's just I thought he was going to do it sooner. With the dialogue kicking in right there. I guess we can get like a bit of reaction out of Kato, because I'm sure as he's in the comm seat on the side, and you're selling this lie to them, and you just progressively see out the cockpit, just the container ship just get closer and closer and closer, and it's like filling the view of your screen, and then you smash into it, basically.
Careful now. We still have a second leg of this ship to make. This trip to make. Nod?
And then you hear Mason come over the comms. Who the hell flying my ship?
I do not know. He vanished. The moment we got another. We went through the Coruscant Triangle.
Oh god, Coruscant Triangle. Let's not do that. I think that's mostly the unknown regions, actually.
Korriban Triangle. That'd be better. Yeah.
It could be.
Korriban
doesn't have a hyperspace lane to it.
Really?
After 1,000 years.
Yeah. If you look over, I'll bring her back over to the map while we have a moment. So Korriban. Where'd the little bugger go?
It's where the Sith vibe.
Yeah, Korriban is right here.
Cool.
If you guys are, am I to bring you to the right page? Yeah, you're all here. Yeah, it's up near the top here, where I'm pinging.
I see it.
Oh,
I
okay.
see it.
So
It's a bit out of the way, isn't it?
there's no lane to it. It's literally just a dot in the middle of nowhere, because I think that's part of how it's so forgotten. How it's so forgotten and kind of been left to the, buried in the sand, essentially, is that it just doesn't have a direct access to it. Not that anybody would really want to go there much anyways. Probably the fact that it doesn't have direct access could be because of the Jedi and their conspiracious ways.
Ah,
Welcome back.
the return of Nard.
Well, it's a good thing Mason brought his little box on the big ship with him.
So yeah, we'll go back to here then. So, yeah, so Nard, if you didn't catch it, Mason, the ship, you basically smashed the remembrance into the cargo ship a bit. But most of the damage is on the cargo ship. And Mason chimed in over the comms with, who the hell's flying my ship?
Sorry, that be me.
Yeah.
All right. Just fly better. And the next time I use the ship to flatten a bunch of guys, I don't want to hear anything about it, okay?
Sure. I wasn't expecting us to be doing this such a rush maneuver, but the captain's orders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna blame. everything on
Kato.
I'm not looking to be drifting out into space. I don't trust the hull of this thing. It's probably taken a big hit, and the systems are just so shitty on this thing that it hasn't told me yet. So
Is the beast okay?
if I end up taking a trip through the stars without a spacesuit, you know who to blame.
Sure, sure.
That's all I'm saying. It's my last words.
I,
Write it
I'm,
on my
su-
gravestone.
I'm super sorry, but is the beast okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just busting your balls. As long as you're not out drifting in space.
I think all the systems are go. Nothing got broken, right?
Not on the Remembrance. The container ship is now in basically code red, and the engines are failing as you're approaching in on Nar Shadda. You're fucked up.
Yes. So as soon as I say, yeah, this ship's really shitty, and it's just not telling me how bad it is yet.
Yeah.
And oh shit, Nard, you really fucked up my ship here.
Lizzie, take over. I'm gonna jump into one of the spacesuits so I can get over to his ship.
I don't know if I'd recommend that.
You need an engineer that can fix things if the ship is broken. No?
Oh, you're absolutely correct. It's just
I'll leave the
All right.
comments. I'm already on my way.
Yeah, Nar Shadda is growing fairly quickly in your view screen out the cockpit.
Yeah, I have to do a stupid thing and do a spacewalk while descending upon the planet.
That's pretty fucking hardcore. I'm not gonna lie.
But I think you need my help. I guess you can start fixing things, but
Yeah, Mason's gonna do his best with what this ship has in terms of like emergency procedures, and like sort of the built-in the built-in emergency systems. Mason's gonna try everything that the ship has. He's gonna start initiating those processes.
Yeah, so you got like a bunch of your panels and lights and controls are now all flashing red. You got the alarm going off on the side. The display of the ship is got like a bunch of the back section is all in the red. It shows like actually I don't remember how many engines the ship has, but like 90% of them, or the majority of them are appear to be shutting off.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, as you kind of look around and assess the emergency system, landing struts are still functional. Kind of like sublight thrusters type of things are still going to be functional for steadying and whatnot that you would use, when you're doing like the repulsor lift into your landing. That type of stuff is all kind of still there.
Yeah.
But you kind of have that like episode 1 pod racer moment where you switch the thing on and off in Anakin's pod racer, and it's just like and the engines just aren't starting back up or functioning or responding to the controls, and it's just like
Mason, I'm gonna give it the old Han Solo treatment where I beat the shit out of the dashboard and try to start it back up again. Basically, it's one of those things where the ship's going down. I try to turn on the engines, it doesn't work. I like bash the thing, and I try to turn it on again. And I say, "Come on, you piece of crap!" And as he's doing that, he's also looking basically for what any kind of fire extinguishing protocols or anything like that are available on the dash. Any like switches I could flip or anything like that? Because again, I don't know how shitty this ship is.
I think you could probably switch on fire suppression, and it would probably trigger. It like confirms working there. Doesn't really improve too much. You kind of determine that not to. It doesn't seem like there's like fires or anything. It's just that something like, because you know how like Star Wars engines all are like those big like bowls at the end, basically, right, where all the thrust comes out, right? It's basically like a bunch of those bowls are now like dented in.
Oh.
Because the Remembrance just kind of went up its rear end and plowed the exhaust bowls.
Okay. Mason. Oh God. Oh God, is this a lost cause, boys? Or am I gonna have to abandon ship?
No, I'm coming over. Let's see how that
How
goes.
much time do we got?
Can I still pay just spend a fate point to get over there? Or do you want me to do the cool rolls?
I think it would just be. I mean, you could do a destiny to just get over there, or it would just be an athletics roll to see how long. That would basically be the obstacle is time.
Let's do some athletics then. See if I can get it. What is the obstacle of time in dice?
It would. We'll say 3 purple. It's pretty fairly time constrained, but we won't go higher than that.
All these 3 purple rolls.
Not a problem for you though.
Wow.
Yeah.
All those threats though.
So ton of successes, which is on screen. So yeah, you for a big lumbering guy, you throw on that suit and you get your big keister over there pronto. The threat will be, well, it's not time because that was the major obstacle. A secondary obstacle is it's not anything to do with Lazik in the pilot chair because that would be a separate role. I think as you get over there and you're able to get an assess of the damages, I think you are not feeling particularly confident of things that can be repaired in the short amount of time. Like you get a glance at the engines, and again, as I described to Fiend, the exhaust parts of the engine are smashed in from when the Remembrance collided to it, and that's probably maybe how you partly get over is that the ships are still kind of wedged together, sort of.
Yeah, because I think landing with the ship stuck to it, that's not a thing if that's what's happening here.
Yeah,
Are they kind of stuck to each other?
like the Remembrance can get free. Like it wouldn't be difficult to get the Remembrance free and still under its own power, and it's doing fine.
But do we make a big ass hole in the other ship?
You wouldn't do any further damage to it, but the damage that's already been done is pretty drastic. So you'd have to I mean, there's still things I think can be done. I'm not going to try and close a door, but you get the glance and see that the damage is substantial, and it's not just you scuffed it and triggered a small fire. You plowed into big parts of the engine and did some wreckage.
Yep. One thing I am is a gearhead. Let's see if I can make some mechanics roll, maybe even on the outside to stabilize things. The whole thing is now to stabilize, so when it's probably still going to be a hard landing for this ship.
Could be. Yeah, so what do you have in mind? What type of approach do you want to?
Yeah, I'm having all my tools with me, so let's weld things that needs to be welded, reroute power to things that he need powers to for landing. Pretty much just assisting in the landing with mechanics.
Okay.
And time is in the is of the essence.
Time is, I think doing this in an abrupt spacewalk, especially as you start hitting atmosphere, I think it's gonna be the black die, and I think it's still gonna be a hard task. I still think 3 purple and a black.
Wow.
Setback.
The thing is, I'm a gearhead, so I'm gonna remove 1 black die for any mechanics roll.
There you go. There's the value of those talents.
Cool. Let's find my talent sheet again. There it is. Now, mechanics, I am kind of good at it, so hopefully it works.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, a little bit of trouble, but a little bit of everything goes fine.
We'll take the stress straight up because I think that it's appropriate for the high pressure situation. So you take the strain. Yeah, I think the successes are that you manage to like laser cut off on one of the engines, one of because it's the bowl, trying to do this good for stream, but it's all dented in on the one side, and you manage to just cut a bunch of that off, so that basically just clears the engine again for
Pretty
stability.
much have less power for another takeoff in the future, but we're not gonna have an engine explode on us when we hit the atmosphere.
Yeah, at least for the
I
one.
like the idea of that.
Yeah, you got that for that one, for at least one of the engines. 'Cause I think there's like 4 or something. So like 3 of them are smashed in. You cleared one of them, so at least you still you got like maybe the outside one. So at least you have the one outside one that's not damaged, and this one that's now kind of makeshift working on the opposite side. So that kind of clears up stuff, and I think the triumph will be. Well, actually, I think part of the successes will be that you shut off the other 2 that are now have the dented in exhausts, so they are just shut off and they're not going to hinder the flight, as they are right now. And the triumph can be, if you want, is to get back to the ship unharmed.
Yeah, I'll go into the poo-poo.
The poodoo. Okay, so you managed to get clear and get into the poodoo.
Yep.
You're knee deep in poodoo.
Well, I'm full body in, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, you get into the airlock, and you get clear of that, and you can. What do you do when you get in?
Before we hit, yes, that's hopefully just before we hit the atmosphere, and then I'm gonna head for the bridge of the ship to ask if there's anything he needs rerouted. Does he have power to everything he needs to land this thing where we want it?
Yeah. Nard reaches the cockpit, Mason, and gives a couple questions.
What's it looking like, Mr. DM? What's the situation with the controls? Is it starting up again? Are we still in code red here?
Well, you got a second engine online. 2 others were shut down fully. So they're not like.
And one was just cut off.
Yes. Yeah. One you already had. One of the broken ones came online into a relatively normal working, and then the 2 that were kind of just working but against you basically and causing more damage now are just shut off and inert for now.
Okay. I think I could try a landing with this.
You have landing thrusters, you have landing gear.
Yep.
All electrics working.
You're just coming in hot.
I don't trust the landing gear on this ship. We're going. It's going to be a rough landing. You get back to the Remembrance.
No, we're in atmosphere. I'm not gonna do an atmosphere walk.
We're in atmosphere.
This is a space suit. This is not an atmosphere suit.
All right, it's time. You know what? Buckle in. This is it.
Yeah, I'll look for a spare seat and buckle in.
Sure. Yep.
We are.
I know about buckling in. I've learned.
Yeah. Yep. I've had to yell seatbelts numerous times over this campaign.
At the same time, I jump on the comms to talk to the Remembrance. Follow us tightly, I guess. Lizzie, are you on?
I'm gonna keep it honest. Don't stay close to us. This could go horribly wrong, and if it does go horribly wrong, I want at least you 2 to make it out of this.
Well, one says do this, and the other says do the opposite. What am I doing?
Listen to the pilot. I am flying a potential disaster right now, and I don't want you to be a part of that. So stay away.
I'll check on the coordinates. This have some kind of computer or navigation system on this brick. Yeah, make sure that we're heading the right direction. Do the second piloting thing.
You're in the general right direction, but it's like, entering Earth's atmosphere and trying to get to like LA and being pointed sort of in the direction of the US. You still got a lot of space to cover. But yeah, it's that type of idea. It's like, yeah, you're in the right direction. You're not pointed at, India.
Then I'm telling we're in the right direction, but we could be better. Mason.
Look, the right direction right now is not into the middle of the city and probably plowing through the structures. I don't want to destroy a city trying to land this stupid thing.
Yeah, we don't want to have to escort the beasts through miles and miles either.
Nope. I'd rather do that than splatter on the floor, though. So options. It's,
Yeah.
All right.
You make it as difficult for yourself as you're comfortable with. But I guess Mason, I know he could land a asteroid.
I appreciate the vote of confidence.
That's what you get from me. A voice of confidence.
Next episode, we land an asteroid on our planet.
All right, shall I try this roll?
Yeah. I think it's still gonna be 3 purple. I think the help and stuff with the ship functioning, there's no more black die and stuff. Morik, if you could give me a 2 purple piloting from Lazik.
Okay.
3 purple.
There she is.
Is this? Oh, I guess it's both the same. I have both the same stats for planetary and space, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Is it 2 purple?
Yeah, hers would
Yeah, that's
be
what I'm talking about.
Just keep finding up.
Yeah,
Just
that's
keep
fine.
hunting.
Red zips keep finding up.
All right.
Heard you like threats, dude.
So I put some threat with your threat, so you can be threatened while you threaten.
Yeah, yo dog.
I mean,
So yeah, we get the zoom in on the scene as the 2 ships that are kind of, mothered together for the moment are speeding down into their impending doom. And Mason kind of, he does what he has to, under the pressure. He focuses in, he gets those controls wrapped up. He's fighting against every tug and pull that's working against them, especially as the skyscrapers and like the hovering coliseums and stuff that make up Nar Shadda's cityscape starts getting closer and closer, and he starts getting into the place where you're starting to blend with like really high altitude traffic of normal planetary vehicles. Yeah, and then we see Lazik, like she's fighting the controls a little bit in the remembrance, and eventually like trying to get the ship like clear because like wedged in there still sort of, and she's just like, and finally you see that like that glimmer of like frustration and like tunneled hate, and she just jerks on the controls, and remember, it's just kind of like this dips down and darts to the side, and Mason feels it in the cockpit, that sudden jolt as the extra weight just comes free, and he comes to a steadier curve between the for his own ship now that it's not just the one ship again, and you manage to like coast forward, and we get a zoom in on like I guess like a space docks type of thing. It's like almost like a docks at like sea, but like the space version. So it's a bunch of landing platforms with tons of crates and supplies and containers and all this stuff lying around. And the 2 ships glide sort of in, and the Remembrance makes a more, elegant landing. It actually comes in and, hisses to a stop. The container ship kind of does more of a bunk onto the landing pad comparatively. Still on its landing struts, but it's still like an abrupt force drop. There's not a lot of like softness to it, because it's kind of like the back of the ship is still like, there's still that kind of sense of like sparking and systems that are kind of like, not all that together, right? And then the repulsors still only are kind of, it's still a shoddy ship and one in bad repair, so the repulsors kind of only hold it so well. But yeah, you do kind of an abrupt slammed landing, and then the air is just quiet for a moment as like everybody around, a couple passerbyers and the space dock workers and stuff that look at the landing of the 2 ships, particularly the Poodoo. And then
I'll put both my right hands on Mason's shoulder and say, "Another Mason spectacular landing. I didn't doubt you for a second. I'm gonna check the cargo." I'll buckle immediately.
Could you believe they didn't want me on the first Death Star raid? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Mason needs to land the Death Star.
Yep.
The asteroid will land the Death Star.
Yeah, he just keeps going to bigger and bigger things and landing them perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah.
The threat.
I'll use my normal. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, let me just get this part out just to clear up, and then we can let you guys go. So the threat is, I think there is the workers care and don't care, but I think there's overall kind of a sense of you got attention. You didn't come in, quite that slow or avoiding of civilian traffic. No one got hurt. I don't think. I don't think it's like a despair that you're you got blood on your hands or anything like that. But like it was a relatively speedy, reckless landing. So there is like a tension in the air on you guys. Now you can go.
Well, it wouldn't be us if it wasn't grabbing attention. I'll get on the count. Ask how the remembrance is. How you guys doing? Normal comms, that would be directly to Kato.
There it is, the face.
I can't see your face. You have to speak into the comms.
Where we landed?
So how was the setup? I'm gonna check that the cargo is okay, but then how are we transporting the cargo to where it's supposed to go?
I wrote that down in my notes.
I remember the answer.
Do you realize
You maybe know a guy that have transport for it.
Here we are. Hold on. Yeah. We'll be meeting the Chamberlain of the Hutt. He'll be taking it. He'll be inspecting it and taking it off our hand. No, wait. No, we have to. Oh shit. No.
I was like waiting for the other part. I was like, just wait for it. He's got to read the other line.
Yep. We will have to transport it ourselves, unfortunately.
Sure. Start making calls. Make that happen. Because we're not just gonna drag it by chains, right? That's not your plan.
You're muted.
I don't know how well
No.
this bird's gonna get off the ground again. It's a bit of a mess.
That's more of a me and the Poodoo's problem.
That's true. Still.
And we need
Worth
the
it.
Poodoo for further business.
Yeah, we do. It's a shame. It's a real. The ship sucks. I want my old ship back. Does anybody else want to take a turn flying the Poodoo this time? No?
You hear Lasico in the comms. No fucking way.
Is that her saying, no fucking way you're not getting back the remembrance because she likes flying it too much right now? Or is that no fucking way she won't fly the Poodoo?
It seems like it'd be the latter.
She doesn't want to risk flying the big piece of shit. HMS Poodoo. All right, well, we have a contact that we're meeting here. Nard?
We're all on comms kind of right now, it seems.
Yeah.
So as I approach the caged monster, I'll say, no, I think Kato has a plan.
Kato kind of.
Come on, fake it.
Yeah. He says nothing. Kind of pulls that face and doesn't interject in that part of the conversation.
Lazik is looking at the alcohol on the bar rail, going, now I get why he needs all this. It makes sense now. That was fucking stressful.
You're still in
So you're a
comms.
kid, Jeff.
Jake.
Oh, no, I'm not looking at your alcohol at all. Not one bit.
Don't
The
touch
deep-
it. That's mine.
Like,
This is
Kato,
my
like,
full-time
takes
job.
that
You're
around.
just sitting in.
You take it out of her hands.
Takes it out of her hands, like sets it on the dash next to him.
What?
Like,
There are Carisian ale in the pantry if you want something to drink, Lizzie.
And she bolts out of the cockpit towards that.
oh, well, holy shit.
So, yeah, what's the next step? Mostly Kato.
Mason will meet up with Kato, like seeing as we're landed. He'll
Mhm.
turn off the thing, and he'll, as he walks by Nard, he'll say, "Good luck fixing this thing.
I'm checking
You're
on
gonna need it."
Yeah, I'm checking on the monster, seeing that it's still alive, fed.
It's alive, and it didn't like all the events that went on. So it's rather rowdy right now in its cage.
Yeah, so
You're getting a lot of roar and spit and stuff kind of in your
yeah, we
direction.
don't like that. Did we bring anything for you to eat during your journey?
Yeah, there's some rations for it.
Well, let's try to feed Comet then, like you do with the rabbit animal.
Okay.
What do you want me to roll? That's the result I'm looking for, but I feel there could be consequences. I might be a 3-armed after this.
It's more if you. It's 3. No, unless you're looking for some other particular benefit, I don't think we'll roll. You feed it basically.
The idea is to not draw attention to the beast. We already have a lot of attention, but we need the beast to be calm and not escape.
Nah, I mean that can be just done with. It's more like if you're trying to like befriend it, and like we need to do the equivalent of an animal handling roll or something like that. If you want to try to like set up for using it as a mount or something like special, like in those
No.
levels. If it's just feeding it to calm it down, you can just do that.
Okay, I'll do that. And then, yeah, as Mason said, I have business with this ship and that I lost. And we need to. I probably also need to take the cat out because this is going to cost money and we still don't have any. Chance.
Yeah, Mason, give me a give me 2 purple and a red streetwise. Or perception. Whichever you choose.
Streetwise or perception. Oh, they're both the exact same for me. All right. Streetwise. Fuck.
Okay. Well, I mean, it could have been worse. The red die rolled. The red die was just a blank face. Like it didn't actually come with any symbol. So you could have got dumped on. Failure. A couple advantages I think is you don't know what because you failed, but you definitely get like maybe like a bit of paranoia or just general suspicion depending on how you want to flavor it, but you feel like something's up as you passed went from the Poodoo to the Remembrance, and you're traveling between all the crates and the general space dock environment.
Okay. Yep. Just a little bit of uneasiness. Well, we all know what Mason does when he's uneasy. He'll go to the cockpit. Whoa. No, that's when he's uneasy and he's in danger. Right now, he's just uneasy. So he's gonna go to the cockpit and make himself a drink, and sort of sit there and wait for Kato to formulate the plan. Or get in contact with whomever we're getting in contact with here.
Listen, Lizzie's got a bottle of ale with her when you come into the cockpit.
That's not my stuff, is it?
No.
Carry on.
You do that all the time? I almost shit my pants.
Oh, you're talking about flying? Yeah, I do that all the time. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's awful.
It's not what I pictured I'd be doing when I was younger, but here we are.
Why? What'd you picture when you were going to do when you were younger?
I don't know. Something stupid. I don't know.
I don't know. This is pretty stupid.
Hey, I'm good at this. All right. Figured I'd work a normal job or something, you know?
Normal?
Yeah, like, I don't know. Work in an office on Coruscant or something. Make a lot of money. As I kiss a lot of people's asses. It's an
Ooh.
easy way to go, you know?
Ugh. Drinks more of her ale. Sounds awful.
Yeah, well, you know, I can thank the Empire for that.
Ugh. Yeah, I guess so.
Yep. Yeah, basically, Mason will have made himself up an old fashioned and will detox in the cockpit.
Detox talks.
Detox mentally in the cockpit. He's not getting blasted. He's just having one drink, you know, one like nice smooth
Uh-huh.
whiskey.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It is. Dude, an old fashioned is 2 ounces of whiskey. That's what it is. Right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
All right, Kato. How's the master spider plan going here?
This is a very good question. I don't think. Do I know anyone? I'm not
Spider
sure.
plan? Spider plan. I'm
I
sorry.
have that ability.
Do I? I remember some ability. I'm just not seeing it amongst my talent.
You don't have it. You don't have it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Unless I put it in the wrong spot, which I don't think I did.
Well, let's take a look.
Well, we can go for the normal Kato plan. Would go outside, make friends with the shadiest looking guys, and make that work for it.
Yeah, that would be my plan, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's not a bad plan, I think.
Worst plan, but it's what you usually do.
That's true, but Nar
Yeah.
Shadda. Let me have a think here. Nar Shadda. You find anything on Nar Shadda?
Well, have you ever heard about Chicago? That's pretty much it.
I was wondering, okay, which rundown American city do I compare this to?
And you put it
Great.
Chicago.
Chicago?
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of. Oh no, I guess Corellia would be. No, Coruscant would be New York. Corellia would be. It wouldn't really be L.A. That's not really a fair comparison. Corellia is not fucking.
Nashville, maybe?
No, see, Coruscant would be Washington. Corellia would be New York. Nar Shadda would be L.A. Nar Shadda would be L.A.
I was thinking LA or Vegas, one or the other.
Actually, a little bit of a little bit of A, a little bit of B. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Ord
There's
Mental
always
is
a transport service.
Ord Mental would be Texas.
I don't know enough anything. I don't know Ord Mental. I know the name.
It's fine. And you have destiny points that you can leverage if you need to cover some gaps on achieving something. Depends on what you want to try to achieve.
I don't think I need it though. Well, we need a transport service first and foremost. Let me ask you this: what were we provided with to transport this Rancor?
I mean,
Ship.
that ship. Technically true.
Aside from the ship.
A means to get the cage Rancor onto something else.
All right, we need a big truck. Kato is going to look into the various transport service. I'm just gotta figure out what is around on how many credits do I actually still have now that I think about that. This is gonna suck. Yeah, so yeah, what kind of role would like just transport service, any kind of service finding be?
It depends on your
I'm
means of doing
thinking,
it. Do you do it over the holonet with your in the remembrance? Probably more of a computers type of look. Are you finding like going out to like the spaceport and making some calls on like phone booth almost type of thing?
oh,
Like
what's this?
I don't know.
You took away one of the light side from my spacewalk.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
no, you rolled the athletics for that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let me flip it back.
We're back.
And I took away a light side because you're gonna have an announcement through the commercial hub that there are this taxi company that will help you.
I mean, you could, but that call hasn't been made yet. So
I don't think I need to do that, honestly. Well, it's not a bad idea. You know what? Yeah, I'm
Just flip
spending way too much time on this crap. Yeah, I'm gonna flip a light side point. You guys kind of say there's a transport service that deals with animals specifically.
okay, now flip the light side or flip the yeah.
and that gives you just access to it. Now you have to deal with like how to pay them and all that jazz.
So yeah, I think if you find a
Oh, they're a charity. They're a charity.
you can find a
what's
business. I think you find a business that'd be willing to help is the key part. So that way, when you say, yes, you know what is it we're transferring? It's a rancor." So they don't instantly hang up on you. So you manage to find that something willing to basically comply to that level of madness. But yeah, it's going to be a matter of, I guess, a payment sort of. What do you propose? What do you like propose to them for that? Do you try to like negotiate something different, some sort of swindle, like?
How much are they? Do they ask up front for?
Up front?
What's like, yeah, like what's like their rates for doing this?
The upfront, I think, would be. Well, you have it caged, so that's a positive, because if they were going to have to reel it in or whatnot themselves, that would have probably been astronomical. I'd say like 500 up front. For probably like a $2,000 to $3,000 job or credit job.
Kato, Kato comes back with, "You are aware who we are taking this to?" What was the Hutt's name?
See if I wrote down a specific. Oh, I did. Kirka the Hutt.
Kirka the Hutt. I did not write that down for some reason.
Didn't roll 20.
I see it. This rancor is going to the palace of Kirka the Hutt. If you were the ones to help deliver it, you would no doubt get the lion's share. No, it wouldn't be lion, it'd be
He's got to look up Dura Lion.
essentially, yeah. You would get the Cathar's share of the glory.
All right.
What's the favor with the huts? Surely something worth quoting here on Nar Shadda, especially, yes?
Okay. Hmm. Negotiation or yeah, it'd be negotiation. That wouldn't be charm. Do
You sure it wouldn't be charm? It almost sounds like it might be charm.
yeah, you're still doing it to negotiate like evening the price or something like that,
Yeah.
right? That's still the core of it.
Fair.
3 purple.
Yes. 3 purple?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll have to remember that I have smooth talker. Uh, the negotiations shall be short. Oh, fuck.
Oh, they all canceled out.
Shit, I hate when that happens. Did I roll it right?
Yeah. 3 purple negotiation. Yep. It's a
Damn.
complete wash. So nothing side effect good, nothing side effect bad happens, but the onus was on you to succeed, so that they still stand steadfast in expecting payment. They're not going to be they're resilient to being swindled.
No, you misunderstand me, friends. We'll most certainly get paid. I just wanted to make sure you understood the full scope of the situation you're getting yourself into.
The scope. Um. All right. Try a bit of a charm now.
Oh, you're gonna let me re-roll that?
It's not re-rolling. It's a charm. I don't know if it might help leverage the deal, even though it's still you're not going to get the original benefits.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
I
Ah,
can't walk
I
away
see
from.
what okay, I see what you're getting at now. Okay. Still 3 purple?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. I like that.
So they're coming around to liking you and whatnot. So they'll maybe take a little less upfront. That doesn't change the total bill that's expected to be paid, but they'll take like 300 deposit to try and make this job happen and get it to the palace. Then the 500 type of thing.
So 300 to get into the palace, and what?
As 300 deposit
We need a 2,000 at the end.
instead of 500 deposit, but it'll still be the total. The total bill was still hasn't changed. It just you changed the front load.
All right. Makes sense to me.
All right. Anything anybody else wants to do in this like kind of gap of time before they end up showing up to do the job?
So, Kito, how much energy should I spend on this hoodoo ship?
But we need to get it back to the dudes, right?
Yeah, and
That was-
also we have didn't we have an agenda with it to fill it up
We
with
do.
loot? Yeah.
That,
So
that would be number 3. That's right. I recall now. Yeah, Kato nods. Sagely isn't the right word here. Scoundrelly?
I'm gonna see if I can go out there and see if I can find an opportunity to get us some parts we need. Because I kind of left some parts in space that can be essential for lift up.
That's fair.
That's what I'll be doing, and I'll be doing that. Are you okay with going to the huts on your own? You
He almost nods that, kind of pauses for a second, then nods again.
of course take Mason
Well, I
with
mean,
you.
I
It's
can-
always good to have protection.
I'm
Maybe
coming with you.
Lizzie wants to know how to make deals with huts.
I was wondering whether or not I should bring her. A young Twi'lek girl.
I don't know if that's wise.
A young Twi'lek girl is the last thing you want to bring around a hut with an agenda.
I could put a collar on her, but that would be pretty upsetting to Lizzie, I guess.
I prefer to avoid that altogether.
I kind of said it a little too loud. Hopefully, Lizzie didn't overhear it.
No immediate response.
Good.
I am also thinking, Nod. What kind of state do you think we'll be able to get this ship into before we have to take off again? We are on a time schedule, if I remember.
Well, I guess after you leave the things, we're not on an acute time schedule, are we?
We had like 3 weeks, I believe, to get 3 to 4 weeks. Oh no, this might just be the amount of travel we were spending.
But then when we're actually going to get out in space and go back, it's all depending on how quickly we can get the reward back. If we don't want them waiting for us, surely, but still, we're going to take a detour anyways.
Exactly, yeah. Kato will say, no, we're not, but getting back expediently will look better overall and might help things move a bit more smoothly if they start asking questions of what we were doing with their ship. We're looking at about a month of travel overall if things go well.
Cool. I'm just thinking, I'm gonna go to a scrapyard to see if I can get the parts I need, see if I can find a shipyard or anything, and ask them if we can do a job for the parts of some sort, some kind of delivery that we can do quick with the remembrance. And then I'll be working hard on making the Poodoo be at least orbitable again.
Kato nods to that, and once it is, what do you think the odds are that it won't need further repairs along the way?
As far as I'm concerned, your polisher poodoo is still a poodoo.
Sure. The thing is,
Before
I don't know what your deal was for us returning this ship, but if it was in the original state we got it, that ship has sailed.
No, Kato shakes his head at that. No, I want to make sure that we can return it.
That's definitely doable. That's no problem. I can just strap some rockets on this thing and we can get it to space. I can do it in a couple of hours, but maybe we should have something more long term if we want to use it for our own agenda.
He cannot, and that's why I'm thinking perhaps the next run, you should be on the ship with Mason. Keep an eye on things, make sure it doesn't fall apart. We'll have to talk about this more later, but that's the thought running through my mind right now.
Captain Huam, you are an ingenious man. Let me do my work on the ship here, and you go do the deals. If you want to keep Lizzie with me, I think she could actually practice some negotiation skills with some for those parts. Maybe I'll even run into another Dalterian. That's a
I don't know. Kato nods in agreement with that. It's a good idea. Keep with any luck, the scrapyards are in the opposite direction of the Hutt's palace.
That'd be ideal.
Just keep an eye on her.
Hey, Lizzie!
What?
Want to come with me to buy some scrap?
What kind of scrap?
I need parts to fix the Poodoo.
You're a poodoo.
Oh, the ship out there is the Voodoo. I am Nard.
Oh, all right, come in. Yeah, she comes out and joins. So yeah, I think you guys come down. So you start leaving the ship, the Remembrance. What's everyone else doing in the moment? What's everyone else's plan?
Uh, Mason's gonna go with Kato and keep an eye on everybody who he talks to. Make sure nobody tries anything funny. There's a scoundrel planet. He's gonna walk around with his hands in his pockets, so to speak. And by that I mean his hands always at the ready to draw.
Just outside the ship, basically.
Well, until we head out, yeah, I guess he'll just keep an eye out. I guess I could perceive and perception check around if you'll have me. I'll just keep an eye out for any shady characters that are eyeing up the Poodoo or the Remembrance.
All right, and Kato.
How long will it take for the transports to get here?
Couple hours.
I'm gonna try. Is there any way I can pull up like a pilot's manual of anything of any kind? Would that be something that maybe Mason would have in his collection? Because we're essentially gonna be relying on Lizzie and myself to pilot the Remembrance if my plan goes through. If my idea carries on, we're gonna need a little bit. I'm gonna need to be able to know a bit more than I think I currently know.
I mean, Mason probably has his old like military pilot's training booklet, but nothing like how to fly. It's kind of an art form. It's not really a.
It's better than nothing, though. So yeah, he'll ask
That's
you to see that and be like face deep in it until like our transport starts showing up.
Yeah, the book is coffee stained on most pages. Many
Really,
a late night. Alcohol came later. He used to like coffee.
There coffee.
Dura coffee. Yeah, so many you can tell many a late night was spent with this book, studying.
Yeah, that's just what he's going to be doing for the next few hours.
Fair enough. Yep, Mason will just keep an eye on things from the outside.
Well, as it turns out,
He'll probably be sitting outside with you. Actually, come to think of it, yeah, no, he's like on like a cargo crate or something, just or on the loading ramp, just.
okay. So it's not. Turns out it's not going to be a few hours. I think as you guys are kind of sitting outside by the docks, by the ship or the loading ramp or whatever, and Nard and Lizzie kind of have their stuff and they're heading out. Like half a dozen people step forward from kind of like a collection of around some box and stuff. They kind of like step forward, like 6 like vest wearing, dark clothed, unscrupulous folks with either like pistols or like a blade on their back, like a sword, and one more noted figure with probably like a a longish type coat, collar kind of turned up. And he kind of eyes towards everyone as he steps forward and he goes, "Well, hey there, strangers. How's it going?"
You said
Hey,
that
fellas.
are these the people I talk to? Do they sound anything like the people I talk to?
Well, we'll find out after the break.
Yep. Hey there, stranger. Mason. Hey, fellas.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes, folks. Stay. Make sure timer is ready. Stay with us. Be back in just a little bit. welcome back. We've had our break. We've had our stretch. Time for the second half of Star Wars Ashes, episode 15. The whole 15. We're making it. So.
Are we?
Yes, we are. Shut up. So some thuggish-looking people, or thuggish-clothed people at least, stepped forward and ended up greeting, I guess, mostly Nard and Lizzie, because they were probably more forward, while the rest of you two were kind of still sitting into position at the moment. And gives you the kind of, that sly, cocky approach of, how's it going, stranger?
Well, we took some damage on approach, and we're about to go get some stuff to fix it. I say openly.
Yeah, you certainly made yourself visible around here. Didn't make it all that difficult to find you.
Oh, you're looking for us?
Yeah. Well, looking for you, looking for something you have on you.
All I have on me is stuff I need for a transaction with somebody that has parts that I need.
Word goes around. Bunch of guys, ships meeting your description. You're delivering something quite important to a hut around here.
Oh, Captain, they want to see what we're delivering. Want to show them?
They want to see what we're delivering. Mason, they want to see what we're delivering. They want to have a look at the cargo.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let him in. Yeah, let him in. Mason is like,
Listen, we're going to
pulling
stay
the
and watch this. This is going to be fun. I'm totally doing this, making it a show that we're not afraid of them. And if they want to see a rancor, sure, let's take them into the rank.
Yeah, Kale will stand up and gesticulate for them to come in a very grandiose manner.
all right. Yeah, Mason is just inside the door behind a table that he's now pushed over and is ready to open fire.
Keep in mind, you guys are at the Remembrance. You're not at the other ship, which is like a unit over.
Oh, we're gonna lead them to the poo.
But they don't follow the lead. They're just kind of like standing there, kind of still got their own scummy smile on their face, and
Okay, well then Mason will make his way over to the poodoo, and set up that cover and position right in front of the entrance. Excuse me.
So they don't want to follow us?
You're like, hey, come on, let's go see it. And they kind of sitting there, kind of a little bit hands kind of still, class. It's like, oh, it's nice of you to confirm that it's here, fellas. Saves us a lot of difficulty. But we're just gonna take it off your hands, though. We can't be having gifts for huts going in that direction.
Really?
According to who, might I ask?
And he, I think, as he turns a little bit towards you, I think you probably see noticeably on up on the shoulder of a jacket or whatever he's wearing, like a signa of Topol on it, on the shoulder.
No. Ah, I see.
You then hear Mason's voice from inside the poodoo. Are you guys gonna come check it out or what?
They're not interested in having a look at it, Mason. You might want to come back out here.
Fine, have it your way. What do you think we have?
Yeah,
Mason
first they
leaves the-
say they want to see it, then they don't want to see it. I don't get you guys. What are you after?
Seeing it. We never said we really want to see it. We're just planning on taking it. If you folks
What
could
is
just
it?
take What is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because we want to
what
take
do
it.
you think we have?
We really want to see you take it, and it's on the
Look,
payday.
right? I mean, if you guys are planning on taking our stuff, I'm assuming you're planning on killing us. So the thing is, if that's the way it's got to be, I just want to make sure you
Hilarious
got
one
the
of the
right
guys.
thing. All right? Because you're just saying, "Hey, you got a thing." I got loads of things, but what thing are you looking for in particular? Because like I bet you five space creds that guy right down there. He's got loads of things. You want things? Talk to that guy. I literally point at some random guy in the street.
Yeah, I think that's when they start getting kind of like agitated, like the few of them draw their blasters and the others draw their swords in hand. And it's like,
First guy that
Mason,
draws
Mason
his
puts his
blast.
hands up. Guys, there's no need for this. I just want to know what you're looking for. You haven't told us yet. Because quite frankly, I don't think my head is worth whatever the fuck you think I have.
well, not that it's really all your business or anything, but
Well,
Kirka,
actually, it is my business.
but
It's my head
Kirka,
on the line.
Kirka can't really.
What?
In Christ, Mason.
Come on, buddy! And then I pull out my guns at the same time, really quickly, and blast their head guy in the twice in the chest.
All right.
I like that. I also wanted to do a preemptive maneuver as lariating the first guy to draw a pistol.
All right, we'll try this range band because I do, but even though it kind of screws the black and white, but we'll try this for a bit. So we kind of have that for the layout. Let me get turn order. Oh no, she'll have her own too. Roll initiatives.
Can I get my my surprise round? Because I'm an incidental draw boy.
Yeah, but we'll get the initiatives rolled at least.
Okay, true. Right. It's combat.
We are prepared, right?
I hope so.
It would be
Cool, right?
it's a little bit of both. You didn't really plan on this, but you did go first.
Yeah.
Yeah, based
Is
off
this
of the reaction, I want to roll vigilance.
You can
You're the
do
one
You guys-
you can do either, whichever you think
All
would
right,
be,
I'll do.
whatever you guys think would be appropriate.
Is it 2 purple? What's the
No,
Yeah,
no
3 purple?
No, clear your difficulties. There's no difficulty for initiatives.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Shoot.
But,
All right. I have I have an ability for this for initiatives.
Yes. Can.
Suffer number strain. To add a number of successes to initiative checks. Okay, let's see how I roll first.
So reroll.
Yep, reroll without any. Yeah, that added
Vigilance.
properly. That added.
Holy shit, Kato, you're fucking killing it. Just in case, I'll suffer.
Hmm.
Equal to. I'll suffer 1 strain to add a success, so I'm 5.
Oh, she had difficulty.
Felicity.
Son of a bitch. All right, that was 1 once. That one goes away. Try that again, Lizzie. All right, 1 3. So you're 5.
Yeah, I'm 5.
So you added 1 or 2.
I added 1.
you-
I can.
Oh, fine. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I rolled 4 on my vigilance.
Kato, you need to do yours again, I think. I don't see. No, never mind. And 3. Oh, yours was a
No,
3.
So you know.
Oh, you didn't do initiative vigilance. That's why it didn't show. All right.
Imagine you initiative.
No, not you. Mason.
But Mason,
Yeah.
just roll the skill rather than roll on the combat.
That's why there was a 3, and I was expecting a 4.
Yo, mechanics.
You're fucked. Shut up. All right, let's roll these guys. So this will be the talkier guy.
Wait, where's the initiative vigilance? How did you do that?
It's under combat, right at the top.
Oh, this will
I
register
don't
as
see that.
PC.
In your combat tree, instead of skills, you go to the combat tab.
Yep.
On
I
top.
just see weapon. Oh, it's not fucking. What's the word? There's a little arrow. I didn't see the arrow. I had to open the initiative tab.
Oh shit! I just think I exited out of. What the hell?
I
Alright,
didn't see it.
clear this shit, and then
Oh, there's a little arrow. Well, that's
two.
dumb.
No, it's 3. Wow, ton of fucking that.
0 and 6.
Yep, and next up will be the range dudes.
6 advantage. That's crazy.
1, 2, and melee. Same roll, same result. Now let's organize it. So they all ruled terribly. So basically, everyone will get their turn before these guys.
They're gonna suffer.
All right, so get your surprise in, Mason.
Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this is because my whole build is about surprise. So and just
Oh,
basically going before other people. So I go to shoot the leader with both of my guns.
Okay.
So is that 3 purple?
Yep.
Okay, so because I'm acting before this guy has in combat, I get to add a blue dice.
Yep.
And actually, I get to add 2 blue dice because I have 2 ranks in that skill. And sorry, there's so many abilities. Oh my god. Right. Oh, decrease the critical rating. Okay. Yeah. So I decrease the critical rating of my weapons by 1 against people who haven't acted. All right. Sick.
You hit with both. Yep. Because you got 2 advantage. Or you could have used the triumph, but that's either. I just need to get
that's
something
really good,
ready
actually.
for later.
Can I use the triumph to do crit?
Sure.
Yeah. So I have 2 advantage and I'll crit, and I do.
Your crit range is 2 instead of 3, which means that you can hit with both guns instead, right?
Yeah, but he's using the triumph for crit damage, but he's hitting twice. But he can only still do 1 crit.
Yeah. So with that crit, I add +10.
Okay.
To critical injury results.
No, everything else. We need to roll.
And
critical injury. Offset is 10. So knock prone and suffers a strain. Nice.
All right. So he took 2. So 1 success. So my pistol does. Both my pistols do 6 damage. So
yeah. So 7
12.
twice.
Or so 14 and then a crit. Yeah.
14 minus his soak twice. Okay. Track of that.
Yep. And yeah. That's my surprise round.
She's prone. We'll produce the snail for shits and giggles. Okay, and now the actual initiative turn starts.
I'll fucking do it again.
Who wants to go
is
first?
he still standing?
No, he's prone.
Oh, he's prone, right?
That's
He's prone.
That's what the critical does. He's not prone, so you hit him, catch him off guard by a good bit of surprise. You smack into his like padded armor. You know, he kind of does the thumps back onto the floor of the dock basically, and yeah, then obviously everyone's now in like combat, so it's kind of like what you do now.
Okay. How many of them are there?
So there's the leader, and then there was 6 others. 3 of them have pistols, and 3 of them have swords.
Man, that's a lot of dudes, actually.
That's a lot of dudes. So their leader is down. Okay. I'm gonna go for one of the dudes with the blasters.
Shoot the blaster dudes.
Yep.
Give the
Same.
okay.
Sorry.
I said yeah. Go ahead. I think you get all the same
3 purple?
bonuses because they still haven't acted or
did.
anything like that. So
Same bonuses. Oh my god, my
Yeah.
dice hate me.
oh, you still hit
Oh,
twice. You still hit twice.
What is with all of those failures?
You just don't.
No crit.
So 7 to 14. So basically, oh, thank you. Actually, I should do it the other way. There. So yeah, you pluck 2 of them down with a shot. You blop blop, and you catch them in the chest. They like yelp out essentially as the shots like sear into their like collarbone area with a smoke or flash of smoke and everything, and they crumple down to the ground. And yeah, you hear you hear the yelp, and then you hear like the patter of like more feet in kind of the background from the docks. And next player, whoever wants to go next.
I'll take it. Kalo will have open fire as well, pretty much right after Mason does his double shot thing. He's kind of reflexes. We're doing this now, and shoot.
Sorry, I had to. I couldn't resist.
All right, what are you shooting with?
Probably the Nemoidian holdout blaster again.
Okay, you'll have to move closer.
I can do that. Yeah. So like, jump in like I don't know if there's like any cover or anything here in the short range area, but kind of hop behind like.
Me?
I thought about that, but no. Like, actually hop behind something that can actually be used as cover, like some explosive barrels or something. Like
You want to
actually
hide
crates.
behind explosive barrels.
Like some crates or something. I'm
Okay.
just kidding. Like some actual cargo crates.
There's a row of red crates with big like explosive symbols on it, and that's what Kato just darts for in an action sequence. Yeah.
By hiding behind these, I give my attacks explosive damage.
Yeah. Right. Okay, Kirby. Yep.
Okay.
So you can slide in the cover with your maneuver. That's well, technically that would be 2 maneuvers if you want to. You move forward with 1 maneuver, you'd have to do another maneuver for cover. So you either spend 2 strain for it, or you're still kind of standing out in the open for getting into short range.
I'll move. Yeah, I'll move for the cover. I will not get into it yet. I
Okay.
like that.
Sure, you can do that next turn basically.
I'm like trying to shoot more than I am out.
Take a shot. What are you aiming at?
One of the dudes with the sword, I think.
All right, so these guys down here. Yep. Give them a shot.
Yeah.
1
Just like
purple ranged light.
I just load that up. So I load up the 1 purple, and I just click the dice with the by the attack thing, by the weapon.
Yep, as long as the difficulty's been set.
Should be set. 1 purple, you said?
Yep, it's short range.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. You had a decent roll too, and you missed, unfortunately.
Right? I fired and I missed.
Yeah, I missed again.
What would
So
you want the advantage to be? There is if it's legible, should be the handout on combat
I
advantage and
shoot
threat.
the explosive barrel.
Shoot the explosive barrel. There's no explosive
No,
barrier. Calm down.
Here we are. Let me actually read this document.
Yeah, gives some options. It's not
and,
bad. It gives some decent options.
Open image in new tab. I have to do that, aren't I? It downloaded it for me. I did not want it to down. Shit.
Fumbling with controls. Like you haven't used Roll20
know, right?
before. How rude.
I haven't opened up these before. Open photos of.
What do you mean, these documents? What do you mean, these documents?
Oh, Lord.
Make them worse.
I'm trying to open it up. It's just being.
Well,
There we go.
you got it?
Okay. Yeah. So, defensive bonus, paralyzed environment. What did I have? Like 4? I had like 4.
Yeah, you got a bit to spend. So, I'm trying to show chat the document. Not that it will probably matter too much.
Yeah. Perform an immediate free maneuver. Sounds like a good one.
Yeah, you can spend this so you can get into the cover, so you don't have to actually spend your next turn if you want to do that.
Yeah.
That would be 2 of them. So you have 2 left. Which because you've shortened the pool, you don't have too many options. You can put a black die on.
Yeah, what's the difference between add to next allied active character or add to any allied active?
Yeah, because the next allied character is literally the next one in the turn cycle. But if you want to spend that extra advantage, you can target an ally that you're trying to help.
Okay. I'll do whoever goes next.
That would be Liz, I think.
Oh, what's my weapon quality? Does it have weapon quality? No, I'd have to have hit successfully for the weapon quality to activate, wouldn't I have?
Weapon quality is like stun setting and stuff, which I don't think holdout blasters have at all.
Oh,
I'm
looking at the wrong thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, it does have a stun setting though.
So what was the other 2 advantage then? So 2 of them you get slide in the cover. So we'll say that's just up here.
Throw the blue to the next one, and the other one is I'm going to notice a single important point in the ongoing conflict.
Next important point. This won't be necessarily it might not be the greatest news, but if this goes on too long, this is going to start being real public.
Of course it is. Of course you would do this to us. Of course you would do this to us.
Plus 2 heat. I mean, wait, what?
I'll get you back. There will come a reckoning. There will be a
reckoning. All right, so that's 1, 2. Who wants to go next? Should we make Lizzie go, or is it going to be a Nard?
Oh, Lizzie rolled better than me.
It can be either. It's not. These slots are not designated to certain people.
Oh, I wanted to lariat these guys. So.
Clothesline them?
Yes.
All right.
If I can do a clothesline from hell, that would be great.
It's going to be basically a brawl check.
Yeah, it's straight up, yes, fist and feet.
Yep.
Fighting.
You can run up and fist them. There's no way that sentence can be taken out of context in any way whatsoever.
I don't. I'm gonna quad fist them. What's the difficulty to quad fist people?
It'd still be 2 purple. Still be an engaged melee.
Yep.
Brawl check. Wow. Fists and feet, he calls it. So 6 minus their soak. And that was 3. Oh, he's clinging to life. So you kind of shamble up, you wind your arm in, and you take them off at the neck, basically. They like
Yep.
backflip around your arm and land face down on the dock plating. They're
Now I'm
beating up and
standing on
bruised.
top of that guy.
Yeah, you have the leverage on him and whatnot. And he's pretty beaten up and bruised. He took a pretty good heavy hit, but he's still alive. He's still squirming and whatnot. He's not longed for this world. And now Lissy can go. So basically, she'll probably shoot back at the ranged people who haven't actually had a chance to shoot you guys first yet.
It's just the one guy just being lariated really damaged.
Oh
That's
yeah,
only
the
range
range guy.
control
No, then the melee.
sure
I was thinking of this group, so it's like that's right, that's the
Yeah.
melee group. So she goes for cover, which is her maneuver, and then she'll shoot at the melee group. So someone roll me her ranged heavy. So she's
I got you.
using that rifle. 1 purple.
1 purple, range heavy.
Yeah.
You actually have the blaster. I got you. But yeah, I got you.
Yep, she's got that
1
shoddy
purple.
rifle from before. Because you
Yeah,
guys
I think the busted, it's a thing. You can roll that. Yep.
Hey.
busted. That's right. I think I remember calling it that. 7 damage. That will plug out. No, thanks. Don't bring that whole thing. That plugs out one of them. So she fires a shot, probably making the sound effects with the rifle. So the rifle is going, pew, pew, and she's like, pew, pew.
I've got the blue dice, sorry.
Oh, could do. You want? You can roll a blue die separately and see if she does more damage.
Oh wait, she had a blue die?
Yeah, but we gave it to Leslie as he passed it forward.
I thought it was literally whoever went next.
You spent 2 to give it to a specific person, so it's another bit of damage. So
No, I spent 1. I
8.
just spent 1.
Oh, it should be me who had that blue die.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, then it should have been him, but so.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
One more hit.
So yeah, she breaks a shot through, probably catches the guy in the gut. He crumples in, but I think maybe part of a shot sends a piece of his armor kind of flying and clips the guy in an arm and cuts it a bit. So he's taking a bit of a wound, but mostly just nicked, kind of tangibly nicked, I guess we'll call it. So she knocked one down, and then it comes to their turn. So the melee guys.
What do I do with the advantage on that?
Pass it forward.
Pass it. She'll pass it to. She'll do a specific one that will pass to her boss mace, Kato. Her boss Kato.
I knew you were going to do that.
But
I
then
knew
she gets rushed by the melee people. They'll come in with their attack, which is this, and they only get that. 2 purple for the engage. Her cover doesn't matter because they engaged her. And they'll strike. So they hit. Vibro sword damage is +2, I believe. Plus pierce as well. Quick check. Haven't used vibro swords in a bit. +2.
Has all those qualities.
Pierce
Though.
2.
Oh, so it negates 2 armor.
Yeah, negates 2 of her armor while it does 5 damage. What is her soak? Soak's 4, but it makes it 2, so she takes 3. So they slash her a bit. She kind of yelps a bit in pain. And then the range people have to get up. Which, by the way, you were over here when you made your lariat.
Yeah, get up. I'm right here.
So they get up. They spend the strain to disengage from you, so they're not in melee, and then they try to pop a shot off in your face at you.
I'm a big target. Hope you miss.
So their range check is pretty simple. It's basically the same as the last roll, but without this much difficulty. Yeah. And this one is also. Oh no, they're just blaster pistols. Okay, so it's 10 minus your soak.
It's 3, so 7 wounds.
7 wounds. Yep. And
Ow.
then leader guy spends his maneuver to get up, and he's gonna return. Should be return fire. Yeah, he's the one with that. Returns fire onto Mason. And so that will be change this proper range. Oh, he hits Mason pretty good.
I have a question.
What's up?
So I have an ability called Dodge.
Yep.
When targeted by combat check, you may perform a dodge incidental to suffer a number of strain no greater than the ranks of dodge. Then upgrade the difficulty of the check by that number.
Yeah. Should have been an upgraded difficulty on that shot.
Well,
He did crit, so I guess I don't think that matters.
for next time, you have
Well-
to declare that ahead of time.
Okay.
Because I did say he was. Did I say he was targeting you? Maybe that was my bad. Yeah, I did say he was going to fire back at Mason. Because
Sorry, just trying to
yeah,
figure out my abilities.
yeah, you have
Hit me.
because I need to know before I make the dice pool, right? So it's just more of that. You
Yep.
have to be like, oh, he's targeting me. Okay, dodge, and then you put into it. So just remember that for next time. But yeah, you take.
I'm gonna take
8 plus your or 8 minus your soak and damage, and yeah, take a critical injury. Roll a critical injury.
How do I do that?
So on your character sheet, there should be critical injuries as one of the tabs. You know, there's character info, skills, combat, item, and then critical injury.
Okay.
You go over there and you can just
Okay.
roll crit. There's no modifier or
Roll
anything.
crit. Oh fuck.
Stagger cannot
Oh, you
perform
can do
action on
actions.
next turn. So yeah, where does it hit you that staggers you so much?
Stun stay. It doesn't say.
No, it's just for flavor. Like what? How does getting hit? Where would it hit you to stagger you so badly? Is it like one of those like it hits you in the arm and it really like fucks with you, or is it like?
Yeah, he probably hits me in my second favorite drinking arm.
Second for you only have 2 arms.
Yeah.
All right, so you get shot there. It's searing hot pain cuts into you. It doesn't feel good at all. And then yeah, it's NAPC's turn.
Now I want to finish my guy.
Okay. How do you go about finishing your guy?
Kind of look into his eye. I put one of my fists on the ground, like going down because he just shot me. Then I'm gonna spring forward and hit him with the spear.
Okay. Roll the
All
melee.
in a tribute to that deep edge character I know for both Pogon's rings.
Oh, you don't have an actual weapon?
No.
Oh, I thought you said you lunged forward with a spear. Oh, it's the
Spear. I'm
wrestling.
moves.
Yeah, the wrestling spear. Okay, so you turn into fucking Roman Reigns, Edge, Rhino.
No. Edge.
You pretty much all. Yeah. That'll do it. Yeah. How does it look when you spear this guy into death?
Yeah, just like Edge would do it. I'm quickly up on my feet, putting all my 4 hands to my side and yelling out aloud, like I got him, to show the audience.
Okay. Yeah, so he's just knocked out, head cracked on the deck, and gone. Next out, next PC. Who wants to go next?
That's threat though.
Oh, threat. We'll give the leader a blue die. I think that's how it goes, right? I'll make sure I pass because you can use threat too. Should be right. Oh, I already have the doc here. Threats, 2 of them. Opponent may immediately no. Add ability to target characters. Yeah. So he'll pass the blue to the leader. I'll just have to remember that for his next blaster shot. But yeah, next PC.
Nard, are you gonna use your advantage?
Say what?
Lizzie gave you an opening. Gonna
Yep.
use it?
Yeah, she gave you a blue
Not
die for your
really.
next shot or whatever.
Oh,
your
right.
next action.
Right,
So yeah.
right.
So yeah.
Right.
What do you
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna bum rush the guy that attacked Lizzie and try and knock him to the ground.
All right.
And start punching him.
All right. Give me the brawl fisting check.
Let me have a look here.
And move your tokens. Not your babysitters.
Ah,
Thank you.
Oh, oh,
Jesus Christ.
so it's not with my my pit gauntlets here. I don't have those. Do I literally just roll the brawl ability? Or should I have something on my combat for that?
I mean, you could do like gloveless for later, but yeah, otherwise just set difficulty and do a normal brawl.
Yeah, I don't know what I would set the gloveless at.
Just don't fill in
it's
any
the same
stats.
like I have.
Yeah.
It's
What
a
do I- what do I-
damage 3, critical range 6.
Yeah.
What do I what is it, another -1? Another one purple, 2 purple? Or
2 purple engaged, and then don't forget your blue die from the earlier this week's shot.
and where's my brawl at? It's down below. There it is. Wow, boom.
Swing and miss.
God damn.
Nope. You try to go in for the punch, but they're agile enough. They're relatively, expert swordsmen. So they, dance the tackle and leave you kind of just hanging there. But you do have a bunch of advantage. Again, what do you want to do with it?
Let's have a look again, shall we? How much should I have?
4.
Shit ton.
Yeah.
There's not much.
Got fucked done.
Be a free maneuver that does not exceed. Force the target to drop a melee or ranged weapon he is wielding.
Okay.
He's going to have to drop the vibro sword. And then I'm going to pass another blue die on to whoever goes next.
All right, so whoever goes next gets blue, and one out of the group of them, this is like basically the 3 swordsmen, they they lose their blades. Like, you don't really like tackle them to the ground and get your punch in, but you manage to, like, I don't know, slap it out of their hand or something. Palm strike the blades away. Yep. And
I'm channeling Vadim.
Vadim, yeah. From the D&D thing. Sure.
Yeah.
Next up. There's only a couple options left.
What maneuvers do you want to make, Mason?
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
No.
Yeah, you can't do actions.
You can do actions.
You can do maneuvers.
What are the maneuvers?
Pretty
Speed.
much just moving, picking up stuff, dropping stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mason he'll move and get behind cover.
Okay.
As quick as he can. Yeah. Maybe he'll use the momentum of being shot in the arm really bad to sort of land in a roll and jump over some cover.
Yeah. So you got cover. This guy's no longer prone. And let's see. So she'll disengage from the sword people but unleash a shot still. Someone roll me a 1 purple rifle. Ranged heavy.
1 purple rifle, ranged heavy. Pop.
Another blue. Because you
Oh,
passed the blue for.
yeah, and they roll another blue, which makes the difference. Roll the blue.
What? Did I? Nope. Sorry.
Oh my god. No, she tries to back up. Her shot goes over their head, up into the air. But she can at least, maybe it's still kind of like the shot still kind of has a an abruptness to it that at least kind of gives an opportunity for the next person to act, which will be in a few moments. So they'll at least the
Hit
next.
something. Sparks to fall down. Shocks someone.
Yeah, it probably like hits like one of the metal canisters or something. It sparks off and it's a little distracting, so that it gives someone else another chance to act. Which then the melee people get to go, which was they still all in number? No, they're one less, so they don't get to do. Oh, yeah. So that. They will try for Kato, who came in ambush, in case you have any abilities, but I don't think you have dodge.
No.
Oh, but they cut you. So it'll be 3, 3, 5, 6, 6 minus your soak, or -2 less of your soak. It's hard to phrase that with the piercing. So 6 damage, but your soak is 2 less than it
4
normally
damage.
would be. Yeah. Actually, would it?
6 damage to rend. It should be 4 soak.
It's not loading your thing again. Well, it's 6 damage with, you have to think of your soak as 2 right now for the piercing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have 4 soak.
Yeah,
But
but
now it's 2.
yeah, for this attack, you have to
4
think of
goes
it as 2.
Yeah, so I would take 4 damage.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna say I take
5,
5.
6. 6 minus 2 is 4. Yeah, so you take 4 damage. Yeah. Math works out.
I'm gonna say I take 5. I'm probably gonna be wearing my heavy clothing rather than the actual laminate armor for this, because I was not anticipating a fight.
Okay. Appreciate that, but that is, that's, I guess kind of reasonable. You wouldn't have expected it, so you just have the alternative outfit. Okay.
I got my Shadar chic on. I just remember I named it. Yeah.
But they will say they knock you prone.
It is reinforced though. Ouch.
So that you're just down on the ground, you'll have to spend your maneuver to get back up. Range dudes, which these are a new group of, they spend their turn to get a little closer, but they're still taking their time. Leader lets off another shot towards Mason.
Dodge.
And cover.
And cover. How many times can you dodge? Is it just the one upgrade, or do you
Once.
have once?
As long as he takes the strain.
I take strain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will suffer. I will suffer a strain to increase the difficulty.
Yep.
By 1.
And he misses. Shot goes wild from his pistol, but his advantage, he will pass a blue on to the next. Oh, he was supposed to get a blue. No, it wasn't, was he? He was, one of his comrades was supposed to, but all right, we'll forget about it.
Yep.
But anyways, the next bad guy will get a blue, and actually the next bad guy will get 2. So the melee group will get 2 blues. So he's gonna do next person and targeted person. That's 3 advantage. Back to players. Who wants to go first?
I'll take the first shot. I'm gonna. I'm knocked prone.
Right.
I have to spend a maneuver to get up.
Yep.
I'd have to spend a maneuver to pick up the sword. But I am on the ground with the sword.
Like, you could spend a maneuver to stand up, and you could spend 2 stress to pick up the sword.
And then I could attack.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
That's what we're doing. Does
Roll.
that make sense? I'm on the ground. The sword's on the ground. I pick up the sword and get off the ground.
Yeah, you reach out, push yourself up to your feet. Give me a melee check.
I am shit in melee, but this makes too much sense.
Rule of awesome.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Wow.
I actually threw in the, yeah.
Nothing. A whole lot of nothing. So many blank faces.
Holy shit.
That's so
crazy.
awful.
That's amazing, actually. I have nothing but love for that roll, just because it's so fucking bizarre.
Well, how does it look when you're trying to as you try to swing
like
the
this.
sword? Yeah, you're swinging wildly. They just kind of duck and weave and dodge around you. Yeah. Next up. Who wants to go?
I'll go.
All
I
right.
have a turn this time, right?
Well, you have an
Yep.
action this time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I have an action.
Yep.
All right. Uh is their leader still kicking?
Yep.
Oh, I want to finish that guy off.
I didn't
All right.
say he went into cover, so yeah, he's still out in the open. Yeah.
All right. So I'll pop out from cover and I'll fire 2 shots at their leader again. So I
Okay.
guess it's
3 purple.
3 purple. Good stuff. Wait, no blue days. No. Okay, good. Yeah, I already took stuff.
Wow.
Oh my god.
2 triumphs, 4 threats, and a lot of damage.
What the fuck?
Holy shit!
So you can't hit with both guns because you don't have the advantages unless
Yes, you
it's on
can.
triumph.
You can spend a triumph to still hit with both if you want.
Spend
I gotta
both
get
tribes
idea.
until they pull out a second pair of arms.
Yeah.
I hit with all 4 pistols.
So
You were knowing all along.
10 damage times 2 minus 2 of his soak. I think that's it for him. How much did he had before? He was ticking on 6. That's his 10, 20 minus.
Very good.
Yeah. How does it look when you get rid of him? How's this style out?
It's biblical. Mason, after being shot and sort of using the momentum of him being hit square in the arm to land in a roll, and then he quickly hops over a box behind him, then sort of rolls his shoulder. There's a big crack, a little bit of a whimper as he then draws his pistols again, and he pops out and just pew, pew, 1 laser in each eye socket, and he pops back into cover.
Yep. The searing shots go through his skull basically, and just this mound of person with 2 giant searing holes just face plants down.
Can I use one of the triumphs in an attempt to get the other 2 to surrender because of such fucking godly gunfire going on right now? It's clear that a switch has been flipped inside my head.
Yeah, I think you can use the triumph for the group that was the reinforcements for them to piss off. I think the melee people are they're in too deep to leave now, but they can be like, oh shit, he went down, and they can just like turn heels and run.
Fair enough. I'm down for that.
All right.
Very nice.
Another PC.
Art is gonna pick up the 4 pistols that should be around these downed guys and use the second maneuver to just lay down, go prone.
Okay, you can get into cover if you'd like, specifically if you want.
Sure,
Okay, so
cover.
you get cover.
That works. 4 pistols in cover.
Okay, so Mark, if you want to keep it in inventory or whatever, keep note of it. So
Probably gonna throw them afterwards.
yeah, 3 blaster pistols and a heavy blaster pistol.
Cool.
And
All are one-handed weapons, right?
sorry.
All are one-handed weapons, right?
Yeah, they're all pistols. They're all one-handed. Yeah.
Sure.
Lazik will Ooh, she's firing into a melee though. Yeah, she's not too bright though, unfortunately. So yeah, she's gonna shoot into it. Oh, what does it do for difficulty against shooting into a melee? Is it an upgrade or increase? No, wrong way in the book. Elemental. Making ranged attacks at engaged targets. There we go. When attacking a target with engaged with an ally, the attacker upgrades the difficulty of the check by 1. In addition, the attacker's check, if the attacker's check succeeds but generates at least a despair, the despair is automatically spent to make the attacker hit one of the individuals engaged with the target. Yep.
So don't hit that despair, I say.
So
shoot our boss.
Someone roll roll her rifle, her ranged heavy with 1 red is the total difficulty.
Or hit the upgrade, depending how you want to do it.
Yeah, or do a purple and click the upgrade. Bueller?
Bueller.
Okay, can do it.
Can be it. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it wasn't both those. It was just the one. But yeah, she still hits. Does 7, which squares off another one. So now there's just the one dude left who is still disarmed at this point. And it's his turn, so he spends his maneuver to pick up the blade, one of the other swords, and swing-a-ling ding at Kato. Oh, and he's got those 2 blues. He's coming in amped.
Where did he get his sword from? I got mine from the ground.
There was 3 people. They were one group.
Oh, okay. So like scared up, man.
Yeah.
He misses.
That's one. Well, it still is a failure, but that was 1 dice too many. That I accidentally rolled.
Shoot.
But he still misses, so he swings wildly as well. So you're basically kind of like doing like the cat pillow fight thing, where you're just with swords, basically. Nothing's really happening. Advantage is, I think he just gives himself more blues for the next time, even though he doesn't, because he's like in deep. He's not in a position to like retreat or run or anything like that. He's here to stand his ground. He's a stubborn motherfucker. So he just gets that. He gets 1 blue, and then maybe he misses, but he kicks you prone again. Like he just like plants a shot right in your lower gut and just drops you back to the ground. These range guys are on their way out, so they basically are written off. Back to the players.
I'm gonna stab him in the knee.
Okay.
I want to put
Down
some
here.
dirt in your eye.
Roll the melee.
Pocket Durasand.
That almost sounds like a band. Durasand.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
See, so no blue. No blue, right? Yeah.
No.
2 purple still, or is it worse?
Nope.
I am prone still.
No, you just have to spend your maneuver to get up.
Yeah.
2 purple, and
Do
then
I have to make the attack, or can I stay on? Because I wanted to swing at his knee.
I don't know. I feel
Technically, I guess. Technically, I guess I kind of have to. So
yeah, or at least get to like a crouch or something.
But I'm still on the ground, and I'm still on
Okay.
at his knee.
All right.
Because fuck his fucking knee.
Oh wow. So you do the 3, 5, 6 minus 2 of his soak. That's only then
How
1.
But how much soak
Yeah.
does his knee have?
That still would have his armor, but yeah, you actually end them. How does it look?
Turns out he was an alien that had his brain in his knee. No. What probably happens is I like get him like not on the front of the knee, but kind of along the back of it, kind of cut that tendon, kind of falls down. And I just ram the sword back through his chest as he's coming down.
Okay. Yeah. Blood sprays and splatters everywhere from this evisceration at Kato's hands, plus a sword. And the situation is over.
If I replace my hands with a sword, could I do that while rolling brawl?
I'll work on it for you. What I'm gonna do now is
Kato Blade Fist.
I'm gonna leave all my tools and stuff right where I stand or lie. Get up, take a look around, and then I'm gonna feed the rancor.
Okay. That's fine.
We're gonna leave all the stuff these guys are wearing. See, they probably don't have much valuable, but the vibra swords and the guns can be used for scrap.
Yeah, that'd be valuable.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to turn vibra swords and stuff into scrap, but I mean, yeah, I mean, in theory...
it's just for trading for parts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's still vibra swords and stuff, Sure. Like I said, 3 blaster pistols. The leaders seem to have a more refined, or at least a bulkier, heavy blaster pistol. Then you have the 3 vibra swords, and
they probably had mags on them.
Probably a few energy cells, and then obviously they were mostly, most of the little guys were heavy clothing, but obviously the leader had a more, a little bit more bulkier, padded armor type of look to him, in a coat.
That can also be traded when we go to the scrapyard.
You also find a data pad on the leader as well.
I'm just gonna throw that over to Kato. Something to do while we take our Bacta or our freaking stim packs.
Yeah, Kato, you're handed a data pad from.
And I'm gonna rip out the stim pack and just push it into my shoulder.
What the fuck?
You just rolled 500.
That's better. All right, and 305 creds.
Cool.
Mostly on the leader, but some of the spare change was still on the grunts.
Yeah, most of the stripping off is gonna be done in the hull of the Poodoo.
Okay.
I'm not gonna feed them clothes, people. I'm just throwing naked.
Okay. Yeah, it's basically like a finer meal than most of the rations it's had, so it definitely kind of enjoys nibbling on some larger snacks, especially as you guys. All right.
No, about an hour later, I would say I was out there mopping up all the blood and all that shit that we left behind, and then I kind of call Lizzie back. Hopefully, she's taken some stim packs too and got on our feet, because we still have a business to do.
I don't think she has any stim packs on her.
She got 5 from me. It's in the armor she's wearing.
Oh, it is personal stim pack. All right. We'll mark it to 4. We'll clear her wounds, which is an abundance. No problem. She's,
How much does the stim pack clear?
5. For the first use of the day.
Yeah. How many?
Well, it doesn't really matter. She actually kind of amps it to do more, but
yeah, we should ask her to use them.
She didn't really need to clear that many more wounds for herself, at least. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, you guys do that. How about, again, an hour, 50 minutes later, the animal handlers show up. And I don't know if there's really too much that really needs to be done RP wise on this scene, unless anybody has any particular things they want to make sure it was made clear or anything like that.
I'm gonna go and change out of these clothes.
Sure.
How are you
They
feeling, Mason?
I could use a stim.
I see your second favorite drinking arm has taken a bit of pounding.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not happy about it.
Hopefully you don't have to spend 24 hours in some med center again.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it honest. I'm feeling it. It could be worse. I've had worse.
Have stimpaks if you need them to just get up on the feet again. You're still gonna do a bit of a tracking to the Hutt's palace, right?
Oh yeah, we'll be fine for that.
Well, now we know what kind of animals these people are. But we also know, I think we got a reputation already. Nothing here been quiet by.
Unfortunately, yeah. Well, let's try and be quiet for the remainder of this journey, but I doubt it's going to be possible.
Or at least increase our rumor as not to be trifled with.
Yeah, I could do that too. That sounds like a plan.
Yep. Now we split the party for 100 millionth time, but this time it feels a little bit more somber. It's not like we're not gonna see each other again, but it could be.
okay. What's the split for the party?
Nard and Lizzie going to the scrapyard, trying to figure parts, and we're gonna go back and start engineering here, while Kato and Mason are gonna take a rancor
Okay.
with this transport unit.
Sure. The cage is slid out and loaded up onto a large truck. They basically have to lie the Rancor's cage and the Rancor down, basically. It's not like they transport them standing up. And they, secure it. Bunch of like large clamps and stuff come up from the sides of this like speeder truck, basically, and secure it in place and whatnot. And the Rancors normally probably would have been protesting, given what we've demonstrated and seen so far, but he's got a lot of extra snacks right now, so he's kind of just chilling and chowing down.
That was kind of the idea, that by overfitting him, he will be docile.
Yeah, he's not putting up too much of a fight. Maybe a little annoyed, even roars out a little bit when he's laid down, type of thing, when that initially the cage is tipped back. But aside from that, it's mostly cooperative enough. The animal handlers are, they're scared out of their friggin' pants out over it. But they do it reasonably professionally. At least Nar Shadda's version of professional, which for the most part, what you guys are used to, because you guys deal with the underworld and stuff so often, that this level of job is still mostly what's expected. And yeah, you're free to basically hop on and follow it along the route, and it like lifts up and soars away into the sky of Nar Shadda, which is filled with bright neon advertisements and billboards and holographic banners and tabards and stuff that like hang from buildings and stuff to advertise. You got spectacle, like hovering stadiums that have like the spotlights around, kind of beaming light into the clouds, and there's like some combative stuff going on in the center. In another one you fly over has like a giant concert. It's just blasting music out, and it's like nestled in between large skyscraper like apartment buildings. So you can imagine that's like no one living there. If they appreciate any type of silence, is enjoying themselves at all. They're basically living next to the most noisy fucking thing ever. And below, it's just like a muddle of just dirt, filth, and run down buildings and areas, and the slums, basically all in the lower depths where the sun barely reaches anymore. But yeah, it's a spectacle of Nar Shadda life as you kind of are flying through in normal civilian traffic. Not even roadways, they're just skyways or whatever they're called. And sure enough, over kind of, as a little bit goes on, you peer over to your right, and there's the big brownish green giant like dome that usually always represents the architecture of a Hutt palace. And it's surrounded in part security, but the security barriers and walls are all done up to look very like presentable, almost regal, while being highly secretive and um, critical of anything that's going on around. There's no major skyways that kind of cross into this area, so you guys like dip out from the main road and settle in towards the front gate, which is like a massive, like almost like one of those like Jurassic Park style front gate things. Not wooden, it's probably more like secured metal and whatnot, but it's just like one of those like big door deals. Very, very over pretentious in a way. Like so much more is being put into it than maybe what's actually needed. But it's the Hutt on Nar Shadda. You're going to represent and whatnot. You're going to like make yourself known. So this is all what you would generally expect. And there's like the watchtowers with like embedded turrets. They all zero in on you guys as you pull the truck up and make the guard comes up to the driver, and the driver just points back to Kato. The guard comes over to get like what the rundown is from you guys. You're muted.
Yeah, Kato like explained the situation about got ambushed by thugs that tried to take our property and all that.
Most of that they're not too concerned about. That's a lot of extra information. They're trying to figure out who you are. Like you've just showed up at the front gates with a rancor, and they're just kind of
Oh,
like,
we're already there. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely misheard that. Back up. God, did I write down the dude's name that sent us in the first place?
it should be the slave guy,
Yeah.
slave trader, Alsanjay.
There it is. Yep. Katowam was sent by Anson J. We brought a gift for the mighty
Gurkha.
Cune. Kirka. We have a gift for the mighty Kirka.
And the security guard kind of pauses a little bit with the gift mention, and then I presume you like gesture to the rancor, and that's what, like, for some reason just never was really cluing into it beforehand or something. So it's kind of just you have a gift, and then you gesture to the rancor, and he's like, right, I see. And he walks back to the security booth basically that they have at the front gate there, and you see him making some comms to the inside. And a few minutes later, it takes a little bit. There is a pause there that does take a couple minutes, and you're just like sitting there idling for a little bit. The turrets and stuff are all still focused, all like they're all still pointed at you and whatnot. Nothing changes. But eventually a call seems to come back to the guard, and they, talk it out to like a hollow thing, and you see like the image of some standing gentleman in like robes and whatnot. And, they end the call, and he steps out and he goes, waves you in, doors, like the constant heavy sound of like gears and whatnot. Like this is not like sort of a magnetized door or something like that. Like it's almost like slightly old schoolish in a way. Oddly enough, as the doors, part open, and you guys can kind of like slip in between the gates. And you come out, and there's this big, lavish, extensive garden. It's probably got like trees and bushes that have been sculpted into the shape of various exotic alien animals. And maybe even one of them maybe closer to like actually no, I think it's probably like as you go forward and you come to like because there's probably like an actual like pebble road, like where like it's not like an actual paved road, it's not like asphalt, but it's like actual like pebble stone pathing and whatnot because it's not meant for vehicles per se because you just hover over it. But as it comes forward towards the actual palace and it wraps around the fountain, there's the fountain itself is a giant stone, like gleaming polished stone statue of a rancor that's just like roaring out and water's just pouring out of its mouth down splashing across the fountain levels.
I see why we were sent with this of all things.
Right?
The Skirka seems to have a preference.
Yeah, how does Mason take
Yeah.
any and all of this?
Mason is going to basically just be looking around when they don't show up for a bit. He's like, I got a bad feeling about this. But at least they haven't shot us yet. That's kind of ideal. It's about as ideal as we're gonna get, I think.
Yeah, Carol nods for that. Did they try to relieve us of our weapon? Or any weapons we had, at least? Or have already, no, they haven't? Really?
Nope. No.
That actually does surprise the hell out of me.
No, they don't try to relieve you of your weapons. I mean, there's still guards that are eyeing you and whatnot. You're not like you've gone through the main gates, but it's not like you have any lack of attention on you or anything like that. But they haven't like requested and forcibly removed any arms or anything like that. But you come forward, you wrap around the fountain towards the front of the palace. The Rancor probably like it probably like throws a bone away, like a leg bone or something from its eating, just as like one of the like as the advisor steps forward. And the advisor is probably like a male I'm not gonna do male Twi'lek, I'm not gonna do Jabba the Hutt. Probably a Devaronian. I think we need to see more of those in the world. Devaronian, so kind of a devilish looking person, horns, but they seem very slender, not particularly all that athletic or well built. They're wearing a dress. Yeah, more of like an actual dress. Tons of like jewelry on like one arm, handful of rings on the other, couple decorative necklaces basically. Probably even got like a couple like jeweled rings on each horn or one on each horn.
Nice thing, getting fancy.
Like it's an advisor that seems to be well lavished as a representative, right? And I'm trying to.
Chamberlain, yeah?
Oh yes,
Sorry, go on.
yes, of course. Hello, hi, how are you? Oh, thank you for being prudent. I didn't expect you this early. Oh no, come forward, come.
Goes out with like a hand extended forward. Cato Wam, pleasure to make your acquaintance, Mr.
He like grabs your hand and shakes it really like, and your body kind of does the like wobbly effect. It's like, oh, pleasure to meet you. I'm well, my name's not quite important. I'm just a fill-in for the moment. With disastrous things, we've lost one of the advisors that was serving the Great Kirka. I'm just holding the ground as it is, but nonetheless, it's a pleasure to meet you. Oh, wow! Now that is quite a creature. Is it? Wow! I didn't expect it to be quite that tall.
He's large, is it not? should have seen the cage we had. We should have seen the ship we had to put it in.
Oh, I imagine it was just quite as monstrous as this thing before you.
That's a good word for the ship. Yes, monsters.
Oh, this is so exciting. I mean, it's the great Kirka has just been in dire straits for just far too long. His pit has gone unoccupied for just years upon years, trying as we've tried and swept the galaxy for an available rancor at a reasonable price, or reasonably otherwise obtainable. You know how things go. But it seems like this is a great gift. I am so elate with what the Hutt will feel about this.
Yeah, Hutt is nothing without his monster.
I mean, how else do you properly torture people? I must know. I mean, how else is that supposed to be done?
There really is no way. There is not. You can have other people go at it, but it's just not the same unless you can drop them down in a pit first and watch them be horribly torn apart for the perverse amusement of an entire court of degenerate bounty hunters.
Exactly. I mean, we are not the Republic. We do not hold people in cells and let them rot. We throw them into a pit and let them get eaten like any other civilized people around here. Hands on his hips.
That's how it's done, really.
I could only imagine the sheer disappointment you've gone through these past months.
It's been absolutely torture. I don't want to even talk about it. It's just, it's been a headache upon a headache.
No more. We are here to be your delivering angels of this particular devil.
So your names, I must know who I'm giving the credit for such an amazing gift for. Who this is on, who this is coming from.
Yeah. Ah, I see.
Are you gonna steal the credit, or are you gonna give it to the scavengers?
How exactly did Keto word this? Let me check my notes here. Make sure I don't forget anything to my large plan. We were actually telling him. No, we were flat out told that to try and take it. What do you know? Huh. There we are. Yeah. Our names, he like motions to himself and to Mason, utterly unimportant. We are but delivery boys. The one you should thank for this gift is Alson G.
Really, Alison? Oh, well, name is kind of familiar. Who is this fellow again?
Slaver operates out of Starport Neon at the moment. We were contracted to transport this beast for him and bring it to the mighty Kirka.
Yes, that's right. He is such an energetic individual. He's ambitious. I'll give him that. He has been sending quite the messages to earn a reputation and get the favor of the Hutts for his future endeavors. I suppose I cannot deny him anymore. If he brings such a thing as that costs no slight of a penny.
I would not. I would believe he is worthy of a creature such as this, in the condition it is, the sheer magnitude of the beast. Absolutely worthy, whatever the highest favors Kirka could possibly grant to him.
Give me a charm check.
Yes. Well, okay. Watch. All right. Let's see. What am I rolling against?
Uh.
Go too slow. I'm rolling against nothing. I should be
A purple and a red.
That makes sense.
That's his cool.
Sounds good. Ba boom.
Okay.
Hell yes.
All right.
I am I am the galaxy's greatest hype man.
Yes, you're the wingman of wingmans.
Yes.
He goes, "Oh, absolutely, and I'm sure we can reward him justly and make sure his slavery business expands beyond the stars." Uh, but
But of course.
now,
But of course.
of course, it is within my purview. I mean, I can't help but for all the danger you must have gone through for all of this. Is there anything I can do for you fine gentlemen? That's your advantage.
Yeah.
Pay for the delivery fee.
It's not a bad idea, actually. But we do have an opportunity here to perhaps shortcut getting those two out of his out of slavery.
Or be completely selfish.
What is?
Or build favor with a Hutt. Or blah, 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 or this, or that, or that. There's a lot you can do with that.
I'm going to need a new gun.
Also one for our Twi'lek girl. Get that bitch a cannon. Bitches love
Bitches
cannons.
love cannons. Yeah. A man of culture.
Get some Alucard in there.
Oh, shame for you. You activated my Alucard.
If you want time to think of it, we can call it here and we can come back next week with if you have a proposition to take advantage of the advantage.
With a vengeance.
I think what he's going to do is. God damn it. Decisions. Yeah, then he's going to say there is something if the mighty Karka could make such an arrangement made. There are two slaves currently being held by Alcin that caught the eye of myself and my associate. If it's possible.
Mason will smile.
It's possible. The mighty Kirker could see them released into our care upon our return to Neon. That would be payment enough.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting. Now, I do sometimes remiss how I'm amiss with how people do need their own stress relief in these days, and I would not want to deprive people of proper slaves in this time of in such anxious, stressful days. I can certainly I can run it certainly by him and see what arrangements we can do on making him release these women for your joy and pleasure.
Of course. Exactly.
All right.
Like you could you know that meme of the Arthur cartoon with his fist? That's what we see with Kate. I'm going with Kate over there.
Sure. I mean, you said it the way you did. I'm just playing off of how you phrased it. So.
Oh yeah, no. Absolutely intended.
Okay. All right.
It's just, yeah, Kato is creating so much hatred right now.
Yeah. Yeah, right. All right. And we'll leave it there. We'll see if there's anything else at the start of the next session if you guys have anything. Otherwise, I think it's just basically the idea of the image of you guys leaving in some way. We'll have to, I guess, sort of figure that out, but basically leaving the palace, the doors slam shut, and delivery is successful. And that will be our end of session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for being here. That was episode 15 of Star Wars Ashes. Back in the saddle again.
Yes. I'm so happy to be back.
Make sure that you check out Fantastic Fiend for all the crazy madness he gets into, and the YouTube content he puts out. Episode 15 should be up on YouTube by next week. And to make sure for storage and all that, I got to clear up my hard drive anyway soon. And aside from that, I will also be back. I mean, with some really good luck tomorrow with no Pixel, but that's unlikely. So more likely to a Wednesday with Wild West again. All right, take it easy, folks.
All right. Yeah.
Later.
All have a good night.